Alright, so today I played a lot of Black Ops Cold War, a lot of Nuketown, and I guess I wanted to share my opinions about this because it's new content to the game. It's Nuketown. There's really not much to say here. I just have some things revolving around Nuketown I wanted to talk about, because the map itself is Nuketown and whatever. First of all, if you want my opinions on its aesthetic, I don't like it, and my friends don't either. We find it to be dirty and gross and unappealing. I wish they would have just given us the classic Black Ops 1 Nuketown. I think that would have been way cooler. Just to see that old map with that classic aesthetic and a brand new engine would have looked really nice, and I really would have wanted to see that. I really don't dig the grungy, deserty, blown out, charred rebellion look it has, because the idea is that, you know, the place has been fucked up and it's been torched and it's been blown up. Obviously, it's a testing facility for bombs, and yeah, it's, you know, people have gone through there and put clothes on the mannequins and put graffiti everywhere, and I don't get the aesthetic. I don't get the appeal behind it. It looks like something out of Rage 2 or maybe somebody's settlement in Fallout 4. It doesn't give me Cold War vibes at all or classic Call of Duty vibes at all. It just plays like Nuketown looks like crap. Now, honestly, this map doesn't play too terribly. I haven't noticed any spawns that are drastically worse than Black Ops 1 or 2's spawns or anything like that. Honestly, it feels pretty good. It feels like Nuketown, and I'll have to say, Nuketown without specialists is really cool. But this score streak system really puts a damper on things, and so does Danger Close. Yeah, small maps in Black Ops Cold War, when streaks don't reset, and you can just have 4 grenades on a class if you build your class to do so, I think that's a bad mix. Now, a lot of people seem to think people are campier in this new version than they were in the old one. I don't think that's true at all. I think most of the high-scoring, high-killing players in Nuketown's past have always been using cover and just sort of watching a lane. I mean, the map's sort of laid out that way. Tight choke points and key pieces of symmetrical cover that are very clearly laid out for you to watch the other half of the map. You know, I don't think that's crazy to say that Nuketown's always had a bit of a head glitching problem. But Call of Duty really devolved into a clusterfuck when they added advanced movement and special stability, so I think people are thinking of Black Ops 3 and 4, but if you go back to Black Ops 1 and 2, it actually plays pretty similar to those maps as far as I can remember. The difference being the time to kill was longer then, and when you shot somebody, they flinched either a little or a lot. Now, I'm no fan of a lot of flinch. I think it can add a lot of random bullshit to a gunfight. I'm also not okay with somebody head glitching with a sniper rifle. I see their sniper glint, I start getting hit markers and then dying. Same thing with LMG users or anyone using a very high damage weapon like the M16 or the AUG. It's frustrating to have a small map dominated by people that are just using chest high cover and just basically abusing the lack of flinch. Even if you start landing headshots on them, likely they've already seen you and they have more cover. So it's really going to be a map you want to play more methodically than you maybe want to. Obviously in game modes like Hardpoint, maybe not so much, but in Domination and TDM, I feel like a lot of people are just going to be holding angles and waiting for people to walk in front of them, which is something I predicted a while back. I mean, when you have a longer time to kill, you're not as capable of fighting multiple opponents, so you really want to control your engagements, and controlling your engagements in an FPS game, especially when the map is simple, basically manifests itself as sitting behind chest-high cover, or crouching or proning near cover, sitting in a corner and waiting for people. That's how people are going to control their engagements when the map is simplistic and it's hard to fight multiple opponents. Also, shotgun spam inside the buildings is pretty rough, as well as the nade spam I already mentioned. The issue with streaks not resetting is also, like I said, it's pretty bad, because there's a certain point in every match on Nuketown where people are just going to have streaks and you really can't avoid it. I mean, yeah, you can avoid some of the streaks, but you're going to spawn into napalm strikes that somebody basically didn't go on a streak for, because, you know, the map just gives you enough score, especially in the objective game modes, that at least by the last quarter of the match you'll be able to call in something like an artillery strike or a napalm strike. And you might think, well, boom, this sounds pretty terrible. No streaks resetting and a lot of head glitching and people sort of camping around and nade spamming. Yeah, it's a little frustrating, but I have to say, it doesn't play that terrible. It's Nuketown. Nuketown's never played perfectly. It's sort of a comically small map. The nice thing about it is it used to be a nice, bright, vibrant, fun-to-look-at map, and now it looks like piss. But it adds variety to an otherwise pretty, already stale game, so that's not a bad thing. And the fact that it's free is also good. I think it could have launched with the game, but then they wouldn't have anything to do until December 10th, so this is their little midway point. Now we wait for that beautiful 2-week mark to be over, and we will have more maps and more content, because currently I feel like the game is already running on fumes. So while Nuketown helps with the fumes feeling, it doesn't play amazingly. It just plays like old Nuketown for the most part, with some of the weirdness that comes from having non-resetting streaks, longer time to kill, no flinch, and a high headshot multiplier. People are going to be waiting for you, they're going to be head glitching for you, or they're going to be in your building with a shotgun and, 4 grenades. It's going to be either or, and there's not much you can really do about it. But again, Nuketown kind of stagnates itself without special abilities or advanced movement. People are pretty stagnant just all on their own, and that's how it's going to be. This map is literally 2 buildings in the sand with a line drawn between them. So, like, it's pretty obvious how it was meant to play beforehand, and it plays more like that now than it did in the last couple of years. Anywho, thank you guys for watching this video. Nuketown's here. It's free. Play it or don't. I don't really care. I'm really just waiting for December 10th. But before that, I want to start doing some weapon reviews. And I encourage you guys to hit the bell icon to get notified when I go live, because I live stream this game. And after about an hour of playing it, I get really burnt and start ranting about random shit. So yeah, come and hang out. We don't just talk about video games, and yeah, hit the bell icon, I guess. See you when I see you guys.